Welcome everybody here to Calder as the green flag is out in the air. Bill Gunther on the pole here is going to be leading us down. Navarro on the outside line again. And here they come into turn one. This is a bit of an inverse track. It's like Tiburon and NASCAR Thunder, one of those old NASCAR games you've played in the past. So it's similar to that here at Calder. They'll be taking some right-hand turns instead of left-hand turns this time around. As there you see Gunther off to a good start there. Baldwin not too far behind in the one machine there. He's one of the few bubble drivers in the race so far. Same thing with PJ Williams, Zachary Fitzwater, and a couple of other drivers there. You saw the point standings on those without a win. As for the criteria of Mike Cock, he has to actually pass somebody full time in the Doublemint Cup Series in order to be chase eligible. That or get 2 wins. And that's what Mike Cock's going to have to try and do here. But right now, it's Bill Gunther still leading us down. He's looking for his first win this season. We've seen Nick Gunther in victory lane. Can the father of Nick Gunther win here in the Doublemint Cup Series and find some success here? They are teammates after all, so those two work together quite often. But they've had a bit of a downhill since the Atlanta win for the 35, so they haven't really been able to do much there. Nick Gunther's trying to really rally himself back up so they can be championship caliber for the chase here. As there you see a lot of drivers making their way back up. Navarro now trying to take second back here from O'Neal Baldwin. Baldwin, like I said, is a bubble driver there, so we want to keep an eye on him. PJ Williams has been on a downhill slump from the last couple races here, so he's looking to really retain his momentum again. And with a good qualifying effort here today, this 19 car could be in contention for solid victory here today at Calder. As you see some 2-wide racing near the back half of the field here. Andre Nascas, Ian Dudd has not had a good season, running low in the point standings yet again. Hasn't really had much good luck and good fortune on his side. 4 wide, 5 wide near the back there. A couple of Aussie natives there. Betty Johnson in the Aussie 83 there. Zachary Fitzwater stuck in some limbo traffic there near the back half of the field. Did not have a good qualifying effort. Has been complaining with the steering of that 43 STP Ford Fusion. So Zachary Fitzwater is certainly not happy on the radio with the handling of his car in the early half of the race here today. As right now that battle for second has still really kicked on. Navarro just trying to hold back on that inside line. Baldwin's doing a great job up high. And there you see that 19 just quietly making his way up into the pack. William Duncan, he's been the consistent dude of the season so far. Really, and the caution is out for the first time today. Annie Thomas has crashed again. This car has been really snake bitten. Annie Thomas and Jesse Turner. And another accident. This is not good for them. They are in a must-win situation. And that's not really going to help their case. They'll be racing back down to the line here. The top 2 pretty much remaining where they are since the start of the green flag. As they're going to slow it down. See, looks like Turner just went up the track there and just clips the 23 in both cars going to the outside wall. Basically more damage to the back end of both of the machines, and they're going to have quite a bit of issues with the handling of their car here in terms of aerodynamics in the early half here at Calder. Here they come to the green flag. Angel Navarro is out of the race due to suspension issues for the 78. Tough break for the first row racing team, as Bill Gunther still leads over O'Neal Baldwin there. You see PJ Williams now up to third because of the 78's issues. But the question is, how the Toyota motors are going to hold up, as well as the reliability there. As you see a couple drivers on the charge here. Jonathan Zolan, William Duncan, Jessica Emery's another bubble driver there. She's up there, and she's actually 12 points ahead of Pat Johnson, who's actually on the borderline in terms of the points, and he's not running too well today. That 11 car's been struggling with his handling of the race car here, as PJ Williams now trying to take the second spot away from O'Neal Baldwin. He did, and now he's going to have to chase down that 34 if he wants to win this race here. It's only lap 12, but even so, taking the lead could be a grand opportunity to win the race here today, because it's usually last season it was a very clean race. JT Bryant dominated the whole event, and speaking of the defending winner, he has not had good handling with his car either, and they haven't really found much speed with that 12 car, and that's almost the same scheme from what I recall that won that race. I might have been wrong, but the same car, just in a different livery. As there you see the leaders have really ganged up on each other. PJ Williams looking low. That 19 car has been hungry for a win. They've been just as consistent, were really pretty much the points leaders throughout most of the first half of the season, and kind of fell apart here once the second half kicked in. And there you see Williams coming down that inside, can't quite do it. Gunther's doing a good job of defending that line there. That outside groove is pretty strong once you get the handle of it. As there you see a couple of other drivers there. Joey Murphy, he's also at bubble. He's actually one of the outside drivers looking in, as well as Richard Johnson. So those two, Richard Johnson's been on a bit of a hot streak in terms of consistent finishes, so he's been moving up in points. He moved up 4 spots in the point standings recently. As you see that lead still going on between PJ Williams and Bill Gunther. Those two are going at it. There you see the 44, the Best Buy machine. We saw this car in Victory Lane last season. And there you see Duncan now going on the inside of O'Neal Baldwin for position as well. So really Duncan looks like they've really, Roush Fenway Racing has set the program right for this 6 team. So they need to figure something out with the other cars, the 16 and the 17 there. So they can do something about it, so they can be top-notch contenders here for the chase. And Kyle Matthews, we haven't talked about much in this season. It's been mostly wrecks for this 24 team ever since that win at MMM, so they're really trying to change things up, spiffing things up for that 24 team. They've been trying to adjust the handling, the track bar. The track bar adjuster, Kyle Matthews, has not found much luck with the speed of this 24 Napa machine. Back up front though, Bill Gunther still continuing that lead. He's pretty much held on to that race lead for a majority of the race here, but PJ Williams is still reeling in that back bumper of that 34. Jessica Emery's just been quietly running in that 3rd spot, so give a shout out to her. She's done a good job. Dylan Schwalmberg's been on the charge here. He's going to make it 3 wide, go up the middle of the track, shoves Duncan up the hill, and Jonathan Zolan, thanks to that, takes the spot away from Duncan. And really, Jonathan Zorlin has been trying to also get on a bit of a hot streak as well. Hasn't had much luck with that 5 team. But they are trying to find their strength here today with a top 5 finish would really help them a lot. But Dylan Schwalmberg denies that and takes it away. He's been pretty mid-pack in the point standings, so Dylan Schwalmberg also trying to gain some lost ground despite being in the chase already with 1 win this season. And that race was Watkins Glen, as the battle for the lead is on, and for the battle for 3rd there. PJ Williams still stuck using that inside groove there. O'Neal Baldwin doing the same thing. But Bill Gunther just holds his ground really well. That 34 car is pretty unstoppable so far. Jessica Emery now trying to use the outside groove. Made it work that time around. But that 20 car has been flying up the pack here. One of the fastest cars. Actually ran the fastest lap of the race with a 2.51. So Dylan Schwalmberg certainly running the more consistent laps on the track here. But the battle for the lead is on. PJ Williams will be able to lead that lap, looks like that time around. No, he does not. I thought it was because of the nose of the Toyota, but that looks like it didn't work out there. And there you see Williams still trying to use that inside groove, but that outside line is just really good for Bill Gunther here. He really knows how to use both lines of the racetrack, so Bill Gunther's done a lot of practice with these right-hand corners here at Calder. And there you see Williams down the bottom again. He's been really trying to use that inside groove as much as he can, because he knows turn 3 and 4 are really good for the inside groove, but probably not so much in 1 and 2, because if he can make it stick in those first 2 corners, then he could take that lead, and nobody could stop him from there. But it's really down to a 5-car race here now, because everybody else is kind of checked out from the rest of the pack here, but not too far behind. Luis Hernandez is running in that 7th spot. Ian Dutta is trying to punch his way into the top 10, which he's trying to do right now, getting around Richard Johnson. And it looks like he'll be able to, just like that, defending his line. But really, this battle for the lead has been quite intense between the 34 and the 19. They've been side by side for the last couple laps, and Bill Gunther's just really done a fantastic job. I think both Gunthers want to find success in Victory Lane today. As the caution is out, we've got a massive crash near the back half of the field. Fitzwater, the hometown native, has crashed Jack James and Annie Thomas again in another wreck there. So tough break for the 23 yet again. Zachary Fitzwater and William Brock is blowing up the Tommy Baldwin racing machine as engine has let go the 7, and a tough break for William Brock puts an end to his day as well here. The caution is out for the 2nd time here today at Calder. And the engine just let go of the 43, and Jack James had nowhere to go. slipped in the oil, and then Annie Thomas just pile drove the 42, pulverized the Energizer machine, and heavy impact for Jack James. His race is definitely over, and that was a bad wreck for the 42 and the 23. And here they go for the green flag yet again. Bill Gunther still your leader. There you see PJ Williams trying to scramble to make a line there to see if he can do anything to get around that 34 machine. And PJ Williams is certainly going to be on the charge here. Maybe even give the 34 a little bump and run here. Out of turn 2, Williams with a great run off the exit of that corner there. And he's looking low here. Will Jessica Emery make it 3 wide? She looks low underneath the 19. And looks like Emery's going to try and take the spot away. Second place goes to Jessica Emery. And maybe she'll go for the lead here too. But PJ Williams holding strong the outside line. Dylan Schwalberg up high as well. Joe Gibbs cars running close together. 19 and 20 there. So they're going to try and infiltrate that outside groove there to see if they can pass some cars for position there. Duncan now using that outside line. Dudda's on the charge here, trying to get around Luis Hernandez. Duncan and several others there. Vince Freeze, we haven't talked much about him, the 2-time winner here in the series. He's been trying to make his way up, and he's inside the top 10 right now. Audrey Bernowskis, Charles Samper, also in that little mix as well. If you're wondering about the incident there, all 3 of them retired from that race. They got collected in that accident early on, so they're done for the day. It's a tough break for Zachary Fitzwater. He was very strong in the point standings, and that's certainly not going to help his case here, but he has a solid cushion, but he's got to hope for a lot of the bubble contenders to have issues here today. But back up front, Bill Gunther just really holding his ground. If he wins this race, this could shake up the playoff points, the standings here for the chase grid. As if he wins, he's pretty far down in points, kind of where that area where Nick Gunther's at. And they're all just trying to chase him down. PJ Williams wins. That won't really do much to the bubble drivers, but at most, it will just knock Fitzwater down a notch. And here he goes down low. He did give the 34 a bit of a little bump there. And to the race lead, PJ Williams will be able to lead that lap around. Will he clear the 34 into turn 1? That's what we're going to have to see here. He blocks high. Gunther goes up high there, trying to use the upper groove. Williams down low, and he takes the lead away. Great pass by PJ Williams from the 19 team. And that was a good late race pass too, because that could be fundamental to the winning move of the race here. Dylan Schwalberg looking like he could make it 3 wide there. He's got a fast Toyota Camry as well, so keep an eye out on that 20 machine there in running in that 4th position there. Emery stuck on that bottom groove. Gunther up top. I don't think they're really going to do much to that 19 car there, because I think PJ Williams is gone from that pack. As we're looking near the back half of the field, Tommy Turbo had damage actually from the Fitzwater incident. Pat Johnson's just been struggling with his race car there. JT Bryant hasn't had a good run. Nick Gunther's been struggling. Really, Cody Lamas has not had a good run either. Jeffrey Fingai, a couple of back markers. A couple of the drivers here have been struggling with the handling of their car here. So they definitely have to do something right with that car. It looks like their subs might have been off this week, or this today here for them. The Aussie car for Betty Johnson running in that 22nd spot. Not really had the best of runs either. But that 83 is looking to at least keep that car in one piece today. That 23 can't really do that so far this season. They've had a lot of tough luck. But right now, really, the battle for second is on. Jessica Emery challenging Bill Gunther. Schwalberg's going to try and assist that 44 here. Down in the inside. In a 3 and 4. Emery up to second. Schwalberg up to third. As they both teamed up around the 34, they know they could pass Bill Gunther in this run. And they definitely did showcase that so far. So Bill Gunther's dropped from the lead all the way down to the 4th position here, just like that. And Dylan Schwalberg looking down the inside of Jessica Emery possibly. Had a good run off of 2. And maybe he's going to try and look into 3. Dylan Schwalberg trying to give Joe Gibbs Racing a 1-2 finish here. With PJ Williams up front, Schwalberg's looking underneath that 44 now. Got a great exit off of turn 4 there. If you want to inverse it, you can call it out of turn 1. But down the inside, he's going to go into turn 1 there. Schwalberg's just looking very strong with that 20 machine. The DeWalt Toyota Camry has been looks like a very fast machine today. So they definitely done something right here. Late race charge for this 20 team. They've been on a bit of a good streak of finishes as well. So some of these drivers have been on a good slump, a good streak here, a hot streak, and some haven't been as lucky. And really, a lot of them have, some people just not had the results they've wanted this season so far. So it's just not their season, but again, this is the Doublemint Cup Series. Anybody could win here. But realistically, we've seen a lot of the front runners in the point standings run up front and win races here, but unpredictability is key here in the Doublemint Cup Series. We love driver experience and hard racing at its finest. As Emery still holding on to second, really done a good job defending. She's been one of the more impressive drivers in the circuit. Here in Jessica Emery, despite not having a win, is a rather consistent driver in that 44 there. Ben Gerhard, if you recall, last season won a lot of races, but didn't make it too far. I think he actually got knocked out after the round of 12. So the second round, he did not make it to the round of 8. So that's why Jessica Emery was out of Ben Gerhard was out of contention, from what I recollect. But right now, PJ Williams has been holding on for a second lead over Bill Gunther and Jessica Emery. Bill Gunther now back up to P2. Great run for the Loves Machine. They've still done an excellent job with that, the adjustments made. So even with the second, that's still a good points day for them. They could gain a lot of ground on several competitors here today. Schwalberg now looking for the inside groove there to get third away. He does get it at the line, but it's probably not going to work too much in the turns 1 and 2, because that 44 can just skyrocket its way into that corner there. Schwalberg looks on outside there, seeing that outside groove there. He might be able to get it this time around, actually. Here he comes into turn 3. Dudda's actually looking low as well, so Ian Dudda's been on the charge. That 32 car's been good in the long run as well, as he does get around Luis Hernandez for position there. So Ian Dudda, the Brazilian, has done a fantastic job here for the H. Scott team today in this race so far. Did go to Dubai from what I recollect, or almost did go to Dubai. Has had some good pole position runs, but good qualifying trims, but not good race trims for this 32, so it might be the other way around here today. So Ian Dudda has made his way inside the top 5, maybe looking for that 4th spot underneath Jessica Emery. And looks like they're going to get it. There's a RCR trio back there of cars 13, 31, and 33. They're all in a little bit of a little bundle there. Vince Reese trying to also get some lost ground here to become championship caliber. The 31 was driven by Keon Eddington last season. They got a couple of victories for this 31 team, so it's kind of been a little bit of a repeat here. So we don't want it to end up for them in the chase to be knocked out so early with so much potential. But you see Freeze going 3 wide, trying to get 2 positions at once. And looks like he will be able to do that. Great pass by Vince Freeze. He goes up to 4th just like that. This 31 car has been a bit on the move as well. So we might expect to see this 31 car maybe catch the 20 and the 34 here in the latter half of this race here so far. But the laps are closing down here. PJ Williams has just dominated this race ever since he passed Bill Gunther. No turning back. Schwalberg sitting in that 3rd position though, waiting for the 34 to make a mistake. But everybody else has been rather calm in a little bit of a little pack back here. Richard Johnson. There is the 46 of Ryder Barnes. Oh, bit of contact there. Richard Johnson out of shake there on that little front straightaway there. So the 46 definitely was a bit impatient with the 21 there. That is a battle for the all-important 16th position there. Chris Dodd not too far behind there. Gabe Williams in the 18. Gabe Williams almost won a race, I believe, this season. So he's been looking for a win to wrap things up as well. And it's been rather quiet ever since then. PJ Williams extending that lead to 1.3 seconds. But it's still 3 wide action here. Chris Dodd, Gabe Williams, Eric Rodriguez is going to make it 4 wide there and looking a bit aggressive in that 3rd corner there, certainly trying to make a show for the fans there. And Eric Rodriguez with that aggressive move is going to actually make it stick, surprisingly. Let's see how many spots he gained in that. Let's see, 20th to 17th, so he gained 3 positions like that. Jeffrey Finguy's making it 3 wide, trying to thread the needle with Dylan Young as well. And Finguy's kind of struggled with his handling of the car. Pretty much a road course ringer at most. That's what Jeffrey Finguy specializes in the Doublemint Cup Series here. We have a lot of road course ringers like Fitzwater as well. So they're all just trying to get themselves on a little island there, but they're all bounded up in a pack. Dylan Schwalmberg has reeled in Bill Gunther this time around. He has a better car from what I recollect, and he's catching that 34 at a high rate of speed. He's looking low in the back straightaway, trying to get a bit of a slingshot and a side draft into the corner here, waiting for Bill Gunther to make a bit of a mistake there. Schwalmberg dives it out of turn 4 with the proper exit there. If he can be able to hold off the 34 for second, he could be able to have a shot at getting that 19, but I think it's going to be too little too late for that for him. But he's just trying to dive it into the corner. Bill Gunther's just defending that groove really well. That 34 is certainly hard to pass in the track here today, but it looks like Dylan Schwalmberg side by side with that 34 into turn 3. Bill Gunther holds high, Schwalmberg down low, and he goes up the track, and Schwalmberg has now gotten himself up to position number 2 on the grid right now. Here, and that's going to help him a lot in the point standings, but Bill Gunther's going to go high. Schwalmberg shuts the door on him, and he's going to be able to take his P2 successfully, but he's got only, looks like 5-6 laps to do it, but it's such a big lead. I don't think Schwalmberg can really catch that 19 car at all. PJ Williams, ever since he's got the lead, he's not really turned back since then, and he's just really run his own pace. The 19 Stanley Tools Toyota has just been quick on the radar here, and really that's showcased. Yeah, it's 2.1 seconds, so I think it's pretty much set that he's going to win this race unless something happens to his car miraculously, but otherwise he's just going to be fine with where he's at. Schwalmberg is in P2, so it's going to be a Joe Gibbs 1-2 here today. But as for the other cars, the 11 and the 18, they haven't really found much luck here with their cars today. The 18 running in 17th, Jeffrey Finguy trying to pass the Gabe Williams machine there. Not really able to, but it looks like he's going to try on the front straightaway. He does, actually. Good pass out of turn 4. So Jeffrey Finguy's up to P17. But really, PJ Williams has just quietly been running well in the point standings. He's kind of the guy that you notice under the radar at the end. Like, you notice he gets a good run, or he's top at the points. Ever since, I think, from what I recollect Dubai, he hasn't really had much luck ever since. But right now, he's got 3 laps to hold off Dylan Schwalmberg, and that lead's really much extending the rest here. We didn't have that many lead changes there at Calder, but really some good racing overall here today. Not that many cautions. Joey Murphy has made his way up the pack here. He is now to 4th. Just tried to defend his line from Vince Freeze there. Jessica Emery now fighting back on the inside of Ian Dutta for defending 6th position. But right now it's just the gap's getting bigger and bigger. PJ Williams, he's just got to cruise on for these 2 laps here. Nothing else Schwalmberg could really do. I think if the 34 didn't hold him up, he probably would have had a good shot at passing this 19 car. But I think he's just more consistent than this 20 machine here today. But Schwalmberg's certainly going to be happy to gain some slots, but I think a win would have really helped his chances here, as the white flag is going to fly. 1 more lap to go here at Calder for PJ Williams in the 19 car. Probably one of the more well-deserved drivers. He is in the bubble right now, but he's good by a solid 19 points, driving for car number 19 for Joe Gibbs Racing. The Stanley Tools Toyota has been strong all day, past Bill Gunther in turns 1 and 2. And into the last corner, PJ Williams, one of the more consistent drivers here this season, is going to finally take a victory here, and it's going to be at Calder. And a close battle for several positions on back. A couple of them were side by side across the line. And Joey Murphy gets a good place here, getting 4th. Vince Freeze with the top 5 there. Emery. There's Dutta with a 7th there. Only Baldwin quietly running in that 9th position there. Hasn't really able to do much. Duncan gets another top 10. Mr. Consistency here so far in the regular season. Hopefully that transfers into the chase. But looking at the results, Joe Gibbs get a 1 and 2 here today. And then you look at the rest on down. Not many cars actually wrecked out besides Fitzwater, James, and Thomas there. Thomas still having some terrible luck. But congratulations to PJ Williams on the victory, a well-deserved victory, and that already will solidify him in the chase. He was good on points coming in, but now that's going to really help his hopes up quite a lot with that win here today. As for the chase grid, that's not really going to change much, but in terms of points, that will help. That will change quite a bit for the Bubbles drivers here, but not so much for some of them.